81 countries. I like the fact that we're one of the biggest marathons. I like to be the best marathon. That's my aim. It's much harder than just have 1,000 more runners. That's not important. But also, we changed the course a little bit this year, improving on it. The city has been doing a lot of work on resurfacing some of the areas. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to just to be the race director, and not running this year gives me a chance to really enjoy myself and make sure that the runners enjoy themselves.
Fred Lebrow's dream was that the New York City Marathon would be the best marathon in the world. While Fred was the driving force behind the marathon, he long ago realized that producing the race was a huge task that required a strong and dedicated team. The New York Roadrunners Club is the organization behind the marathon. At the club's Manhattan headquarters, some 50 permanent, full-time employees handle the thousands of tasks necessary to produce the world's best marathon. In addition to the New York City Marathon, the club produces over 100 races throughout the year in the New York metropolitan area. These races range in size from less than 1 mile to over 100 miles. Under the direction of club president Alan Steinfeld, the staff daily throughout the year carries on the business of serving marathoners and all runners. Data processing, finance, member services, purchasing, race apparel, design and sales, communications, and services for its 31,000 members are only a few of the staff's responsibilities. The club's senior staff meets on a regular basis to review business and create ways to improve the marathon and other club events. Last October, thousands of people who admired and loved Fred gathered at the marathon finish line in Central Park to honor him. Fred's dream, the New York City Marathon, will continue to grow and be the best marathon in the world. It's safe and secure in the hands of the organization that Fred built. If Fred were here, he'd say, "Let's go for a run."
have a dream, to have a vision of what could be. One man did, and he decided to run. And run far. And as he went, others followed. And soon, there were more, many more. And now, there is this, his living, breathing, sweating dream, the New York City Marathon. It's a day for those who just want to finish. It's a day for those supreme enough to win. Yes, that one man's dream became his and was most definitely shared by a Norwegian legend named Greta. To some, the New York City Marathon is about winning. After all, it is a race. But the admiration of a Salazar is joined by the joy for the everyman, because that one man's dream was that there would be a citywide hug for them too, no matter why they wanted to run. New York will forget itself today as the boroughs, the races, the cultures join in celebrating what is uniquely theirs. Because after all, there is something mythical about the distance, something magical about setting a goal. That one man's dream is 25 years old today, and just look how far it's come. This is Fred Lebrow. He was that one man, but now he's gone. What he's left behind is the story of a Romanian immigrant who fled to find a home, who found it here, who started simple and finished in our hearts. And while he hugged the mayors, he worried that his family out there had enough to drink. Somehow he did it. He created something from nothing and made it great. Not for him, but for us. And for New York. Today marks a quarter century of marathons here, but the first in memory of Fred. But hopefully not the last, to remind us the power of one man's dream, that the finish line is the place to be.
Good luck! from? Indianapolis.
For the elite runners, and even for the ones who are just trying to reach their personal best, there are special strategies involved. Here's what we mean.
The start of the New York City Marathon is exciting, sometimes too exciting even for the most experienced marathoner. With the first half mile uphill, many runners lose concentration and their race right here. Brooklyn is where the more experienced runners relax mentally, and if the pace is slow enough, physically. Inexperienced runners can be distracted by the smells, the noise, and the crowds urging them to run faster, even though the race has just begun. Sometimes a pace setter will lead the elite men through Brooklyn, but just as often, a true contender will run faster than the rabbit. But the moment of truth in this race has never occurred in Brooklyn. The halfway point is a crucial split time for the top runners. Most know if this will be an historically fast race in which they'll run a personal best, or a slower race in which the most important sense of accomplishment will be what place they've finished. In either case, it's a time for decisions, to pick it up, slow it down, go with the pack, or run one's own pace. First Avenue is an easy place to make a grandstand move, but there's always a price to pay in the marathon for yielding to early temptations, and more marathons have been lost on First Avenue than won. The Bronx is like purgatory. First Avenue is like heaven. The Bronx is just a brief respite before entering the hell and hills of Central Park. Sure, the crowds are loud, but your heartbeat drowns them out. The first hill tells you your future. Will you defend your position and advance, or do you need to conserve energy to keep from self-destruction? This is the moment of truth for most runners. If they can stay aggressive through the park, there's no limit to what they can accomplish.
The marathon, you see the Williamsburg Savings Bank building, and when you get onto 4th Avenue, it's about 6 miles away, and they're approaching the 8-mile mark at the Williamsburg Savings Bank, where Mary Murphy is ready to watch them sail by. Mary?
I just saw the lead motorcycles coming up in front of the lead runners on the men's course. We're right on Ashland Place in Fort Greene, and you'll see the pack of police vehicles that are leading the way for the top men runners on their course. There's a double-decker bus coming up behind, and of course the huge press van. This is really what we've been waiting for the last few hours. The spectators are sticking it out in the rain. They haven't left. We have about 150 students here from Brooklyn Tech High School, not to mention dozens of volunteers from the Roadrunners Club. And it seems like the rain has eased off just a little bit, actually, in the last minute. It's not as bad as it was a few minutes ago. The press vehicle is coming by now, along with some members of the Roadrunners Club. The mayor was here a little while ago and got into a convertible, so I wonder how he's doing in the rain. We should see the lead runners about a block back, if we could zoom in. You see the clock on top of the truck in front of the lead runners.
Again, this is 8 miles into the race, Mary, as you said before, where the men's course and the women's course joins for the first time since the Verrazano Bridge. That's Vincent Rousseau, fastest marathon time of the year in front. And all the leaders, all the challengers picked by people who know this sport are all there.
And you hear the cheers from the crowd in Fort Greene. They're not letting the runners down.
The men are approaching mile 9. The women seen here are approaching mile 8. And we think there's been a fairly major development inside of the lead pack. Kim Jones once lost this race by 5 seconds from Spokane, Washington. Does not appear to still be there. We try to go out to Patty Sue Plummer now. Patty, what happened to Kim Jones? Do you know?
Well, yeah, right about mile 8, she just fell off the pace. It was really obvious. And, you know, the pace is quite slow. They're running well over 2:30, probably around 2:32 pace, so it's certainly not a very fast race. Likewise, Anne-Marie Lecco, who said she would lead until the end of the race, has definitely taken the lead. And notably, she did not take up fluids at the last water stop, and that was a problem for her. And I think with the rain, it's you know, psychologically you think you don't need the water, but your body still needs those fluids, and I hope that doesn't come back to haunt her later in the race.
Through the mist on the camera lens at the 59th Street Bridge. Yes, the men's leaders are about to take Manhattan. Arturo Barrios of the United States, originally a Mexican, is joined in front by Vincent Rousseau of Belgium. And Rousseau with the best time, fastest marathon this year of 2:07:51. That is roughly 40 seconds better than any marathon that Arturo Barrios has ever run. Number 9 next to them is Isidro Rico of Santa Rosa, Mexico. So the Mexicans and one naturalized American well represented here in the front three. They're on the carpet. There's roughly 1 mile of carpet that is used in the marathon. On this bridge, the Willis Avenue Bridge, the Madison Avenue Bridge, we'll see them later. And all of the carpeting, which is much needed padding over the grading, will be recycled as well. Toward First Avenue, and this is really where they hear the loudest cheers of the race. Looks as though right there they're about 10 deep. You know, they say on a good day almost 2 million people take to the streets of New York to watch this marathon. Maybe the rain has limited that to a certain degree, but I doubt on First Avenue, where this is one of the great days of the year. Julian Phillips is standing by. Julian, how's it been?
Well, Al, if you think that the rain would keep people away from here, think again. As you said, they're 10 deep, probably 12 to 15 feet deep. Most of the people are waiting for their personal friends coming down here. Now, the press vehicle, as you see, is coming down the road. The lead runner should be shortly behind that. As you can probably hear right now, people are starting to yell and scream. The emotion, in fact, the lead runners are, in fact, on First Avenue. They are approaching our location here at 61st and First. A number of people here are grabbing water, and as you can hear, the crowd is responding to these runners. They are certainly running at a nice pace right now, and as I said, the crowd is not concerned about the rain as it stands at this particular point.
And that white convertible that is running with these lead men, you know, that would be the car where Fred Lebrow would be with his cap and his warm-up suit. Instead, this year, it's with his good friend and 9-time champion Greta Weitz, and I'm sure that people in New York, fans of the marathon, think they're seeing a real, true celebrity, a great little extra bonus as they watch the runners go by and Greta's in that lead car.
Absolutely. You can't see from this vantage point, but there are banners down by the bridge that say, Fred, this one is for you. There's a lot of feeling and spirit for Fred and what he has brought here to New York, uniting a lot of people who are normally not united all the time in this particular city. But this does bring everybody together, and you're starting to hear some more of the cheers.
Olympic champions have run in New York, but none. Not Lasse Viren, not Joan Benoit Samuelson, or Frank Shorter. Not one of the Olympic champions has been able to win. Some people think this is the next great Mexican marathoner. Germán Silva, third at the London Marathon earlier this year as they head toward the 19th mile mark, and the pace is quickening. 4:53 was the last mile completed by the lead men.
I think Germán feels great. He's leading, but he doesn't want to be leading. That's why he's looking around, hoping that Isidro, Rico, or someone else will help him out with the pace. His plan is not to be leading this early in the race. He's run 13:26 for 5,000 meters.
Meanwhile, we'll go back to the women's lead now and try to figure out what's happening there. Patty Sue Plummer, are you still there?
I am here.
What's been happening? We still see that number F8, Albertina Diaz, looks to be in front.
Yes, but actually Anne-Marie Lecco has made a great move. She looks terrific. She's taken, I guess she's taken, you could say she's taken over the lead. She's definitely taking control of the pack. But I would say Albertina Diaz looks so smooth. She looks relaxed. She was throwing water on her head, which is not a particularly good sign in the rain. And I think right now, Anne-Marie, this is her territory, and she knows that she has to stay calm. She doesn't want to really start racing for another mile or so. The young Kenyan woman, Tekla Laroup, has actually made a move on the pack. She's coming up, which is noteworthy for two reasons. First of all, Kenyans are not known to come from the back. And second, she has the best speed in the field. If she manages to catch this field, I think she might win this whole thing and surprise everybody.
She may be a factor. She's closing on that first group. And believe me, when these four runners turn around and see a runner of that quality who has just caught up with them, there's going to be some surprise looks, and we may see the pace change. And there is Tekla right now.
Boy, she looks great. She has taken the lead. Tekla Laroup is 21 years old. She has never run a marathon before. She started off way in the back, ran 6.5-minute pace for the first mile.
Something pretty remarkable just took place here in the New York City Marathon. You know, the women have been trying to catch up with the men for years. The best they've ever finished in this race was 40th. Well, Tekla Laroup, in her first marathon at the age of 21 from Kenya, just ran her last mile in 5:21. That's only 7 seconds slower than the mile that was just run by the leading men in this New York City Marathon. So big strides for a young runner, big strides for women in the marathon. Silver anniversary, silver balloons at mile 25, 2:05:22 into the race. And you can see roughly 20 or 25 seconds or so behind the two leaders is Arturo Barrios, the new American. Grand Army Plaza. Huge crowds here on Central Park South. All the bleachers are filled. They probably have been for hours. And probably a great day to have one of those hotel rooms in the Essex House or the Plaza and be able to watch the coverage on TV and look toward the window for just a minute and look at two men, one of whom will be the marathon champion in New York City today, barring something unforeseen. You can see how deep they are in this particular part of New York City.
But, you know, unfortunately, if you're at the finish line, you're looking at these guys and saying, well, they don't look too tired. They're just loping along. You didn't see the 18th mile when Arturo Barrios hammered it and they had to dig down deep and stay with them. They're really cutting back right now. The tough part of the race happened on First Avenue, as it has happened so many times before.
About 4 minutes to go. That would be less than a mile in this New York City Marathon. Germán Silva again wearing number 10. Number 24, Benjamin Paredes of Mexico. And, you know, the Mexicans, Marty, I detailed, you know, their emergence into the New York City Marathon scene going back to 1989. This is yet another step up. They have improved their standing in this race each and every year for the past 5 years, and now this will make it 6. And when you consider that the man who's right behind them was a Mexican just months ago, Arturo Barrios, we've detailed that quite a lot. This is some statement about Mexican marathon. Central Park South, approaching Columbus Circle, about to make the turn near the finish line where there'll be a huge crowd. A statue of Fred Lebrow, which has been erected there, and the volunteers will be waiting for all the huge crowds and packs of runners that'll follow these two men.
Dan, put me on.
Larry Rawson, what happened?
There was an opening into Central Park, and Silva took a right down there. Paredes knew to go straight where all the spectators were, and Silva just maybe had a little mental lapse, didn't realize that the road was straight ahead, and he took a right into Central Park. Everybody yelled at him, and he turned around and stopped about 25 yards into the park, and now he is chasing Paredes. We have about 600, 500 yards to go, and he is pumping his arms furiously. He has made up some ground on Paredes. He is hauling. Look at his leg turnover.
And now Silva is trying desperately to get back. This is what happened moments ago. Silva is the one on the left. He makes the turn, then stops, realizes he lost his teammate, and now here is the final few steps for Paredes of Mexico. Maury, this is absolutely horrible.
There's no such thing as a routine victory. That is the spot where Alberto Salazar and the coach of Paredes and of Silva lost the race to Alberto Salazar, in just about the same spot. Silva has lost the race, but it's not over. Paredes is trying to make the most of this moment.
He has made up a tremendous amount of the time. We thought for a moment this could be one of the closest finishes in the history of the marathon. Then hard at the wrong turn as Silva makes the wrong turn, and now he's rejoined him. They're side by side again.